Hello, everyone. Welcome here today for this session. We would like to start with a couple of words from Kapil, representing Econor. So if we can have Kapil to open the forum.
Yeah, thank you, Walter, for inviting me for the same. I'm happy to collaborate for this wonderful session related to the green campuses. So, hello everyone, I'm Kapil Megnani, the founder of Econor. Econor is a green building platform working on in India for making energy efficient buildings as well as the sustainable buildings. So we provide the sustainable products as well as the guidance for making a green building on our platform. So we have taken this initiative called as Econo Green Marathon, starting from 14th of August till 12th of October. So we are running a very lots of campaigns along with the support from the Youth for Sustainability India Alliance, as they are a supporting partner for this green marathon for this entire period of 2 months. We'll be launching. We have already launched the various sustainable brand stories on every Monday. We are launching for the sustainable flashback stories of sustainable architecture, as well as we are launching every Friday, we are launching a sustainable product that is the featured product of the week 10. And yes, we are coming up with the Econo Sustainability Awards with the end of this marathon, that is on 8th of October. So whoever is working in the sustainability field, we are felicitating the heroes in the various categories of sustainability and building sector. So for today's session, I would like to invite the moderator to carry forward this. And yes, so it's a great experience. It will be great to hear from the various various students as well about the green campuses, how they are promoting the sustainability, using the sustainability and promoting the sustainability in their campuses. So it's great. We'll be looking forward for this session since long time. And yes, today we got the opportunity. And yes, you can take this. And yes, we are looking for hearing some more insights related to the sustainability. Yes, thank you all.
Thank you, Kapil. That was lovely to hear from you. And I actually kind of posed an introduction for a few of the members already present here, but I'll do it again because we have many of them right now. I am the moderator for the event. My name is Subhadeep, and I am a core member for Youth for Sustainability Clubs. And I'm also the growth coordinator for Youth for Sustainability. And I take immense pleasure in attending this attending this session as well as moderating it. So without further ado, we would like to get into the facts and get to the thing that this session is organized to thank the collaborative effect and the effort from many of the members for the Youth for Sustainability India Alliance and Econor for hosting the space during this Green Marathon. And today we have with us speakers from Climate Reality Project India, Life Project for Youth, and Ashoka Young Changemakers. Now, if we speak something about the Youth for India Alliance, I would like to throw some light on it. With more than 40 members, we bring together like-minded youth-oriented organizations focused on the Sustainable Development Goal 12 and 13, that is responsible for consumption and production, as well as climate action on a common national platform in the form of an alliance to help India achieve its targets under SDG 12 and 13, with youth as an accelerator. The alliance aims to harness the tremendous power of the Indian youth to create a sustainable future through collective behavior and to drive policy changes in educational campuses, corporate groups, civil society organizations, as well as governments and other stakeholders through consensus building and urgent action. So that brings us to a question that why actually are we having this event today? In the line of current climatic crisis, like I am from India, and I am from a state known as Odisha, which is in the east coast of this country. For example, we have frequent cyclones every year. Floodings, forest fires, the latest being Simlipal, which actually took a lot of media coverage, thanks to a few people. There has become an urgency in finding a solution on how to create sustainable ways of living our lives. The youth spend most of their time on campus, including I. Well, as a matter of fact, due to the pandemic situation, we haven't been to the campus for around 1.5 years, but we are soon to resume going to the campus. As I speak for myself, my college is opening right from tomorrow. I'll be on campus tomorrow. So that is the thing. And the question is how to create a space, a campus that is run in a sustainable way, an ecosystem that supports the sustainable lifestyle of the students, teachers, and others involved. Should the administration be only responsible for making this space or ecosystem, or there is anything that the youth can also do? What could the youth empowerment, the youth involvement for increasing the demand for sustainable campuses? What can be that? Will that enable us to prepare our careers in sustainability, or there's something else to it as well? Green Campus program enables schools and colleges to conserve natural resources like water, biodiversity, optimize energy efficiency, manage waste, and educate about climate change and sustainability while addressing the well-being of the students as compared to conventional educational institution. So here we have with us Madam Rekha Lalla, who would throw some more clarity towards this issue. We are privileged to have her on board. She is a CII certified expert on climate change and sustainability, a teacher, a trainer, an author, painter, curriculum expert, and also a TEDx speaker. The platform is all yours, ma'am. We are lucky to have
So
you.
much, Subhadeep. Thank you so much. So nice to know you are from Orissa. So we have a lot of schools from there as well. So I'll share my screen if you allow me.
Yes, please.
So it is youth and I think all those educational institutions, those who are talking about the sustainable. At Climate Reality Project India, we have a Green Campus program. So I'll just tell you about the Green Campus program, which Subhadeep has given just a introduction. So I'll go into it, how the school can do and what they have been doing. So how it works around is we have an awareness, and then we want some action from the students part, school part, and last one we have the awards. So for awareness, we have a program where we have workshop for the school teachers. Then the teachers have an online teachers training where we get them, give them certification, and then we want the same knowledge which the teachers have taken from us to disseminate to the young ones. So that is for the school. Then we have been into the states of Delhi, Himachal, Odisha, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Punjab, and we have our program in now 4 languages: that is English, Hindi, Marathi, and Oriya. We are working on. This is you can get the resource material, teaching resource material, educational content from our eelab.info. We have comics, workbook, presentation, videos, handbooks, poster, anything the teacher wants to teach the climate change and SDGs or anything around climate change. We have them all. Teacher can just download it from our website. So then comes the action. This is what we have providing for support for the school. Then comes the action on the part of the school. As you say that we want school to have do some action on these 5 domains, that is energy, green cover, water conservation, waste management, and eco-friendly commuting practices. So when we talk about clean energy, we want schools to have at least 5% of their annual total energy consumptions on alternative sources, that are renewable sources of energy. And we want them to have the energy efficiency, have energy efficient appliances as much when they do or need a replacement, they should go in for that. We don't say that, okay, now you convert all. But that is what we suggest them. Then next comes the green cover. We want schools to have at least 20% of the site area as green or vegetative. Water conservation, talking about the water consumption for the green campus awareness, again, we want 25% of the runoff volume from the roof and non-roof area. We also promote water efficient practices so that the school can conserve or they can have a rainwater harvesting system. So waste management, that is, I think they have to do. Everybody has to do waste segregation at least when we start from the school. We want the schools to have at least two bin system in the playground, two bin system in the classroom, two bin system outside the staff room. The same applies to colleges as well, because we have a lot of colleges also with us. So that, and transit system, we want them to now convert to the electric mobility. Plus if there is they are nearby school, they can use a cycle, or they just walk down to the school. uh, then comes the award. We have already awarded the school on the basis of their documentation, verification, and site visit. So these are the schools. You can see the winners. 9 schools were awarded in 2019, but then came the pandemic. So after the pandemic also, during that, we have become very active. And I'll just take you around for the a little work which the green campuses have done. They have replaced the plastic with the steel tiffin, because I think primary schools, they have food for all the primary classes from first to fifth, and the pre-nursery and nursery. So that, and primary. So that is what one of our school has done. They have this school was having a building, so they had less area which was vegetated, so they went vertical. So this is what beautiful gardens they have, because they had less space for greening. So this is paper recycling machine. I think all the schools, mostly 90% of the schools in Delhi have this recycling machines, and all the green campuses. This is a school has created a forest with the head, that is Miyawaki forest, with the help of the community, or their surrounding community, or the parent community they have created. This is one of the building which I visited. That's a school building with, they have an inner shaft where the circulation, when we talk about air quality in schools, we want them to have a cross ventilation. So this was not possible in this building. So they developed a shaft like thing. So I've just taken a picture. Some of the small practices with the school can do once they are building, and if they don't have a space, they should try to go in for these and this school had a vertical garden, but climbers. They had a lot of climbers. And when I visited the classes which were inside that, the opposite side of that, so they were very cool. And I visited these schools during the month of May and June to do and verification of the documents which they have submitted to us. So this is a waste to energy which implanted in one of the school, which they use the whatever the waste is there, like vegetable peels, they dump it here, and the same heat is generated, and they use it for making their food. So this is a tree plantation which drive most of the schools of the green campuses. They have adopted the metro pillars. Underneath the metro pillar, wherever the greenery is, they have done the plantation, and they have taken a written permission from the MLA of that area. So that can be one of the things which the green campuses and the other young people can do it. So this is a village adopted by a school which they have adopted, and they are teaching them, and the teachers are there. You can see them, and they are learning it. So it is not only one side learning, it is also the two side learning. Village also learn, and plus the schools also learn from the good practices which they do. So it is a mutual, or the I can say the symbiotic relationship between the school and the community. So this is a door-to-door campaign one of the school has done to spread the awareness and tell them about the recycling options. So this is the plastic bag campaign one school has done. So you can see the cloth bag they are distributing. They had a tailor sit outside which can distributing the stitched cotton bag, which that too reused. They had old clothes which they have given to the tailor, and they have distributed this. And that's again a community campaign which we can do, or any school or college which is interested can do. So this is a vegetable garden set up by a school or college can also do it. A lot of vegetables were there, so it was a nice sight to see. This is a composting which in khambas, which can be done even at home also. Very easily it can be taken and you can do it. So again, a cultural and sport event with the rack picker students, where the students and school students and rack picker students both participated. And that is again a cultural and learning experience for the school students. So thank you so much.
that was really informative and beautiful, to be very honest. And seeing such things happening right now, I kind of go back to my school days when such things were absolutely not happening, first of all. And secondly, whatever trees we used to have, like I'll tell you, I've been in a school for around 12 years and I have never seen them plant a single tree. The trees which are already there, they seldom used to just water them, and that's it. That's what they used to do. And to be very honest, on a personal level, the concrete jungles are not something which I fancy, and that is why I'm here with this initiative. So it really feels good to see this thing. And I would like to ask you a question, like, how difficult was it during the pandemic to keep this thing going? Like, you already mentioned some of the activities which you did, like replacing the tiffin boxes. But other than that, as a whole, as a complete operational purpose, how difficult was it to remotely keep up with this initiative during the pandemic? Because we know the situation was very bad.
So earlier, I used to school, from one school to another school, physically to take the workshop, tell them and make them understand. So now what was happening, I was going online from one school to another. And it was an easy thing also, good thing also, because they also learned in the process. They learned to connect online. Schools also had to do a lot of work because they were not very good at learning online. So most of the school, then I can connect with the Chennai, the one who is in Chennai, I can connect very easily with them. So otherwise it was not possible physically. So there was a drawback also, and yes, plus point also. And we took a lot of schools joined in. I think 100 schools were there online, talking to me every day. So many teachers, some from Kanyakumari as well. So imagine I'm in Delhi talking to a Kanyakumari person, and those a group of teachers, and teaching them about sustainability, teaching them about green campus program. So that was a good thing.
So, so as we speak, there is a greater, brighter side towards it, right? Getting that's that's really good. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll get back to you if at all any of our audiences have any questions for you in the later stages of the session.
Thank you.
So, moving on, like green villages are established in regions away from big cities. But there is a particular reason to it, and they offer a pedagogy that is especially tailored for youth living in the rural communities. In the future, each new country which gets tagged along with LP4Y operates in which LP4Y will operate will benefit from several training and development centers and at least one green village. So, to throw more light upon it and to speak more about this initiative, we have with us Elodie, the Green Village leader at LP4Y, and Bina with her. The platform is all yours.
Thank you very much, Subhadeep. Again, I'm impressed by this presentation. I hope I will be up for it. So briefly, LP4Y, we're not a school exactly, but as Subhadeep sir was saying, we are an international NGO that is present in India and actually in all Asia since 2009, and more precisely in India since 2014. So just like Rekha ma'am, I will share a small presentation to you now. I will share my screen. And just to give you like a broad idea before we start digging in the subject. All right, can you all see my screen? All right, perfect. So the green villages. First, we were having concept of basically youth inclusion. So at the very start of LP4Y, the sustainability and the ecology side on the campuses were not really present, I must say. And the shift began to appear in 2013 when our first green village that you can see here on the left side opened in 2013. So basically what happened is that we had centers in the Philippines before, and we realized that nothing was really done for the locals that were being present to actually regain the heritage of their culture. I mean, the situation was horrible. Philippines were very polluted. We were operating in relocation sites. So the relocation sites had no waste management. The population there was not at all sensitized about how to manage their health, like ecology and the health and the waste management. So we decided to take action, basically. And so, as you can see on the picture here, what happened is that LP4Y started to give a budget to, on the construction side, really put an effort, you know, to do green building, meaning like in Philippines, it was only done in bamboo. And we teach plus 20 workers to regain that knowledge, like how to make a sustainable construction on the long term, only with ecological materials. We installed solar pumps, we installed dry toilets as well. So it was really like a hub, a concept that we tried as much as possible to make a green village out of it. And as you can see on the description, basically, we are doing a residential program, meaning that the youth live on campus. They are not in a school, but nonetheless, like as some of them are out of school youth or living in rural areas, it's very difficult for them to come to the place. So that's why we offer them the residential aspect. And they are not able to find a job. So that's why we are here to basically give them a training how to get more soft skills and how to be able to connect with professional inclusion. Otherwise, it's very hard to stay out of poverty, stay out of trouble. And that's basically still our mission, but with the Green Village, we added the ecological and sustainable part. And so we aim to give a model to follow for other campuses. And that's very interesting because we are always growing and progressing. For instance, we reached out at the beginning of the year to the Climate Reality Project as itself, because they were having a lot of indicators, and we were looking to implement key impact indicators for sustainability, because we have some key impact indicators to follow if we do our job correctly, according to are the youth finding a decent job at the end of our program. But we didn't have yet key impact indicator that were really giving an insight about that. So thanks to the Climate Reality Project, we are able soon to really implement that to follow our consumption of water, electricity, to do more gardening and maybe vertical gardening walls, as Rekha ma'am was showing on her presentation. And yeah, so a lot of things that we are excited about in the future of the green villages, thanks to other actors of the Youth for Sustainability. But now I will give the mic to Bina. That is, yes, okay. I will stop sharing my screen.
1 minute.
Yes, okay. So, yes, okay. So Bina is a youth that is in our training currently. And she joined 2 months ago now, a little bit more than 2 months ago. And she's part of one of our micro companies that is called Sustainable Development, meaning in our training, in order for the youth to get professional insights, they are managing micro companies. And the Sustainable Development Company is a company focused on ecology. So now we're listening to you.
Hello everyone. Good evening. My name is Bina Pradhan. I am 19 years old. I am come from Odisha. I am joined LT4Y 2021 13 July. And now I am currently in a training program in LP4Y West Bengal. And I'm very excited for giving my testimony. So I'm very excited and thanks for everyone. And I'm now talking about LP4Y. LP4Y is an international NGO which does social and professional integration for young adults from 18 to 20 years old. LP4Y created 6 green villages in Asia, Philippines, Nepal, Lebanon, and Bangladesh, 2 in India, 1 in Chhattisgarh, and 1 in West Bengal. Green Village is 3-month residential training program with 60 youth, and it worked like a business game with 4 companies, 1 digital center, restaurant, and bank, and sustainable development company. My company is Sustainable Development Company. There are 4 members in our company, me HR and team leader, 1 finance officer, 1 stock and production officer, 1 communication IT officer. Now I'm sharing my roles in our company. In ST company, our role is to find some solutions for ecological and more sustainable. Make sure in our green village is more ecological and sustainable. And ecological and more sustainable, and to sensibilize the community, we check electricity, waste food, and saving waters. And we create new eco-friendly actions, make sure our green village is eco-friendly, we adding in our green village. And we, for example, we have implement bucket using our dishwash area, saving the waters, and we manage the recycling of all the trash of the green village. We do the gardening and make an organic kitchen garden for provide vegetables and fruits in our restaurant. Tomatoes, banana leaves, curry leaf, also lemons. We have coconut. Also, we have brinjal also, and we make compost for waste management, and we create gardening, and we give training, eco-friendly training other youth in our green village, and we planning to do it to community. Topics are environment and pollution and eco-friendly actions. The goal is to sensibilize people about the environment and to understand why it is important. For example, we teach plastic comes from petrol, so it is very polluting for our environment. Also, plastic often ends up in the sea, and then it's the fish's body and kills them. We also teach how electricity is made, mainly it's with koila factories, and it's not good for our environment. And we create their gardening, and we planting tree, control pollutions, and we separate using dustbins and recycling. And in living in the green village, changing my habits regarding waters and save electricities, etc. We try to find ecological solutions for everything and then advocate for other youths. I'm in my company, Sustainable Development Company. Before, I don't know what is ecological and eco-friendly actions. Now I am follow these tools, and also I teach other youths why we save environment, and it's most important for eco-friendly actions in our environment, in our life. Thank you. And any questions?
Okay, so that was really, really beautiful, and I must say it's a very noble initiative. And we all of us on a whole are really impressed with the type of jobs which your international NGO does. Really proud of it. As a matter of fact, there is a small question from my side. I'm not going to the audience till yet, but how difficult was it to integrate this idea in states like West Bengal and Chhattisgarh? Because we know that sometimes people of certain place who are already very conventional in their thinking will not accept the change that very easily. So how difficult was it to integrate this idea into them?
Thank you, Subhadeep. That's a great question that I think calls for a very complex answer because what we've been experiencing in Chhattisgarh and West Bengal is similar in some aspects and not similar in others. Meaning Chhattisgarh is a much more rural place. And so what we've been feeling is that partners are more connected to rurality on some levels, because some family members are farmers in pretty much all the families, or, you know, like there is some connections. So the love for nature is really strong and the enthusiasm is here. But we've been struggling, you know, to convert the enthusiasm to action plan. Like that's our main struggle. We, as LP4Y in the Green Village, we have been struggling so far. The project is running since 2018 over there, and we're having some partners in the sustainability, but not as much as we would like. And yeah, so that's been a little bit more complicated. In West Bengal, what's been our luck is to have the beautiful network that is YIST, you know, so that really made a very big change for the GV West Bengal, because we've been able to really connect the youth to sensitization about environmental change, and to resources and to actions that they can actually do. But yeah, like basically we encourage as much as possible the actions in the campus, meaning that all the youth are taught on the same level, you know, like why we should care about all those things, and the little tips about the daily life. And hopefully after that, like we see that the alumni that come through our program are becoming change makers in their community, but that takes a lot of time.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. I agree with you completely, and I'm really privileged that I get a chance to sit with all of you and know these things. It's a real heavy acknowledgement I would like to make. So, thank you, Elodie. Thank you, Bina. And now, moving on, we have with us two young changemakers from the prestigious Ashoka Youth Changemakers Fellowship. Kavya and Omkar started their sustainable life by taking the responsibility of cleaning up our rivers. Now focusing more on urban foods and food forests and developing experiential learning modules so that the students can learn how to plant and maintain the trees and forests on their own. Omkar is an individual who is now involved with Karo Sambhav on the topics related to e-waste management, also various other things. We extend a hearty welcome to both of you, and now the platform is all yours, and you can enlighten us on everything which you have done to live a sustainable life, or you're willing to do and planning to do.
Thank you so much, Subhadeep, for this. Hello, my name is Omkar Ganu. I am based in Pune, and I have been working for last 7 years now on plastic waste management, river pollution, and a number of stuff. And right now, I am involved with Karo Sambhav, India's one of the most ethical PRO, which works in e-waste management field. So the point today I'm going to make is how impactful youths are through my experience. I'm going to share a story, a very interesting story. We have one program called Sagar Mitra, which works with school students, and we teach students to like how much impact they have on ocean just by using plastic and throwing that plastic even into the dustbin. So when we connect these students, their hearts to ocean, which is like at least 250 kilometers from Pune, but still youths are really enthusiastic and like really dedicated to save ocean from their homes. So like we give them one small module, like we ask them to collect their plastic from home, clean, dry, and empty plastic, and bring it to schools once in a month. So the impact of this program was pretty huge. The story I'm going to share is about a school boy. In one of our programs, he learned the way we deliver, and he went home, and he started collecting plastic as usual, just like other students do. And his father came to him and asked him, Beta, what are you doing? We have servants to pick up our waste. We have a big swimming pool in which if garbage gets floating, we have a servant to remove that as well. What are you doing? Are you mad or something? So that children gave a pretty deep answer to that. And sorry, am I not audible?
You might just hold your mic a bit closer to your mouth.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, I get,
Got
this is fine. This is fine. Yeah.
Got it. So that children gave a very deep answer to his father. He said, "Ki, Dad, I'm not picking up my plastic and waste just for the sake of cleanliness. This is work of ahimsa I'm doing. Just by picking my plastic at home, I am saving birds and fishes of the ocean and the earth." So this deep answer moved his father to go sustainable. His father owns a very big multiplex in Pune, and that whole multiplex started giving us plastic each month. Each week, we get around 1 to 2 tons of mixed waste and all the waste they throw. They used to throw into landfill. So just by changing a youth mindset and developing a youth mindset so that the whole community can be moved to like more sustainable practices. I think that's why sustainable campuses are really, really important. But sustainable campuses should not limit themselves just to having electricity, renewable energy, and water conservation. But the campuses have the biggest key thing they have is they hold the future infrastructure of our world. They hold the children. So if they can cultivate the minds of children in a way ki, these students, these children will go to world and change the shape of it, maybe by developing empathy about these big systems like we do. We try to empathize students with bigger systems like ocean. We'll try to connect their hearts so that just while sitting at their homes they start to think big, and they start to like take bigger challenges. They don't try to limit themselves. Just like current issues of environment are global. So this is how impactful youths could be. And I guess such meetings and such gatherings should happen more and more in the future to like accelerate our impact and create more denser networks. And yeah, that's all from me. Thank you. Kavya?
All right. First of all, I love listening to all the speakers before me. And Subhadeep, thank you for such a warm welcome. So I am Kavya. I am a 17-year-old change maker from Kanpur. And before I start telling you what sustainable campuses mean to me, I'd like to provide you a little bit background of who I am as a person. So, I'll take you back to when I was in my ninth grade, and I was coming back with my father from Lucknow to Kanpur. Uh, on a road trip, and I remember I saw a chimney spitting out a lot of smoke, and that really concerned me. But I was an ignorant kid who never thought about the environment before. So what I simply did was, because my father is an industrialist, I told him that I hate him for being an industrialist, and he should probably change jobs. I don't like him being an industrialist. And so he told me that if you do not like me being an industrialist and me doing the things I do, you should tell me why shouldn't I do it. You should tell me why environmental benefits.
Sorry to interrupt. I think you are a bit low on your audio. Could you please just do something about it?
All right. So am I audible now?
Yeah, that's really good. Thank you.
I am so sorry for the inconvenience. Should I start again, or was I audible? All right,
No,
cool.
no, no. You can continue.
All right. So I remember complaining to dad, and then he was like, "Tell me why environmental benefits are more important to me than economical benefits," and I start doing it. So I told him, first of all, who would listen to me, and second of all,
Okay, did we lose him?
I'm
Uh,
so sorry, did you lose me?
yeah, we lost you. Okay, it's not an issue. You can just take it from there again.
All right. Uh, so I remember that in that conversation, I asked him that first of all, why would someone listen to me? And second of all, why should I do it? And then he gave me a long lecture on why not me. And if I do work that is genuine enough, why would people not listen to me? And I remember 2 weeks later, I was sitting in the office of the Indian Industry Association's Kanpur chapter, talking to the national president of the association on policies how they should not encourage industry members who are not complying with environmental norms and are fighting cases for violating environmental norms in quotes, and they should not be supporting it. And I remember we discussed on that policy. They took it to their AGM, and then later, not entirely because of my inputs, but then there was a clause in their membership papers that next time they find any industry not complying with the environmental norms and the city authorities punishing them for that, uh, that industry will be blacklisted from the entire association. And it's a huge association. That was a huge win for me. And just a small thing brought me there. And from there, if we move fast forward a year, uh, I started this initiative called the Bhavishya Foundation, and we were planting with the local organization a 2 acres urban food forest in the cantonment area of Kanpur, which was a 3-layered food forest wherein we were involving students in the entire procedure of planting a food forest, and what exactly can we get from a food forest and what exactly can we understand about ecosystems. And we were working with a school in Kanpur. And I remember a story. There was this girl who was 2 years younger to me, and she came to the first drive. And the first drive she came there, she was the most enthusiastic one. And I meet her a month later, and she has started her own initiative that is actually manufacturing these cloth bags from the industries that were redundant in my own city, and they're selling it to a local market. And that organization had more volunteers than my own initiative in less than 2 months. And I think that really affected me, and that really told me that any campus that is sustainable can only come from experiences, because sustainability in its own is a habit and a way of living. So so the school I worked with was 15 kilometers far from the urban food forest site. But did this food forest site make that school a sustainable campus? Yes, it did, because the student council there was taking initiatives in that school, which was ranging from encouraging distributing bamboo toothbrushes to all the students and so much more. They had their own environmental club after this initiative. So I think these small activities indeed really influence the students in campuses to have a sustainable lifestyle. And I think more than what according to me makes a sustainable campus, more than taking actions on its own to actually bring their carbon footprint down, is a campus that influences its stakeholders like the teachers and the students to bring their carbon footprint down. And because uh, in this way the entire process is recurring, because that campus will have new batches every year, the without us realizing, the impact really rises exponentially. So I think that small activities, like I remember this idea of winning the Children's Climate Prize in 2018, which was an oxygen bank. So a very simple idea: next to the school canteen, keep a piggy bank. Tell the students you can either choose to buy the expensive foods from the school canteen, or you can put that money in that same bank, and at the end of each week we'll plant trees around the school campus or any park around it. A very simple idea. Does this make it a sustainable campus? Yes, it does, because these same students will learn to sacrifice. And I think in a technocentric mindset that each one of us has, especially the current generation, sustainability is a way of life that can be only learned by sacrificing. Because even if we're using social media and we want to cut down a carbon footprint by using it less, we'll have to sacrifice. And if the students are really provided that connect with the environment at a very young age and are taught to empathize with the environment and have that connect so that they can sacrifice, I think that makes them a sustainable campus. And now that at the end of it, we know that the present generation doesn't connect with the environment at all. At least their actions tell us that they don't. So, the role of institutions, when we talk about it, the role of institutions is actually to frame or mold the next generation in a way that even if they do, even if they do not take huge actions, they at least do connect with the environment. As institutions, they only have to ensure that students do connect with the environment. And I'm speaking this firsthand because I have studied environmental management at school, but nothing gave me the connect to environment like the urban food forest project gave me. So students, institutions just have to do that, help them learn to empathize with the environment, and the rest will happen. And it sounds like I'm saying that it will all happen with magic, but it will happen because I have seen that firsthand. And once a student learns to empathize, that student has the power to change the world. And if the student learns to empathize with the environment, I can assure that that is our best case to put up a fight against climate change.
It's really good. It's really good. You are actually an example, I must tell you, because I was not so very exposed to these things when I was your age. So I would really like to thank you for spreading this awareness. And you both of you, Omkar and Kavya, gave really good insights about what you do, why you do, and what is your exact calling. So with this, I would like to open the forum and the platform for questions from our audience, if ever they have any. And we will be ending in a very short time. We have roughly 7 minutes in hand, so we will get to it quite steadfast. So yeah, if anyone has any kind of question, feel free to put it in the chat box, and Violeta will help me with those. Yeah, so that's the thing. Also, the speakers can question each other as well. If ever you have any doubts regarding, or you want to know something, anything at all.
I think the question might be still keep coming, but I do have a question for myself. I'm curious to know on those campuses which are sustainable. This is a question especially to Rekha ma'am. Have you observed any changes in the in students, in other ecosystem, in teachers after implementing some of the changes just at the infrastructure of the campuses? I'm not sure if Rekha ma'am is still with us.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. So I was just curious to know if by changing some infrastructures as a space, have you observed any changes within the behavior of the students or parents, teachers, or any other people involved in the process who are who are around these campuses, around the schools?
Yes, nice question. But what I have seen that when the students are involved and teachers are involved into one process, they kind of replicate the same system where they are living, maybe around their neighborhood, the same thing which they have learned in the school, they carry it. And I feel that students also, I've seen my students after 18 years or 20 years, I met them and they are at a position where they can take some decision good in life when I have seen them connected with the environment. I think that is the biggest thing as a teacher and an educator, which I have seen in learning about the green campuses. When we talk about, when we do something, some good change in the environment, when that is, I think, impact a lot for the students. And as a teacher, I think they carry it for their whole life. It's a lifestyle when they change.
Yeah, okay. So thank you, ma'am. And we are still waiting for anyone else if they have any questions. Otherwise, we are going to wrap up this session, this informative and this really good session, I must say.
Actually, I wanted to rebound on what Rekha ma'am was saying just now, just because we have a lot of stories in the green villages, and what changes we saw. Sorry, 1 minute. Sorry, my bad. I had a little cough. So what changes did we see in the youth is actually very funny, but as they felt, empowered by, for instance, waste of food. So we have a zero tolerance waste of food policy in the GVs, or keeping the fan or electricity on when no one is in the room. And so in Sustainable Development MEI, we have leaders that are checking those things. And what I noticed as a coach, so we're not teachers, but as coach, we are almost the same age. What we noticed is that they feel so empowered by it that they reverse the coaching, meaning that sometimes they look at us and they say, coach, do you really need 2 lights and not only 1? Coach, is your plate zero, food waste? And sometimes they say to us like, okay, so yes, you're getting, we are having fines, like we have a local money. And so, yes, they do deductions when we waste, we don't eat all of our rice and all of our vegetables. And so after we can put it in the compost, but that's something that they sensitize us about. And it makes us realize that teachers, or coaches in my case, and youth, we are all in the same boat together and we're never perfect. And so like at first we, transfer the knowledge to them, but after they are a daily reminder that we can improve also our ecological practice every day.
Amazing, amazing. That was really a good example. And so with this, I would like to thank each and every one of you, Rekha ma'am, Elodie, Bina, Kavya, Omkar, Violetta, and Pauline, and everybody else who joined us today for this very informative and beautiful session. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you again in various other sessions, because this is an initiative, and in my opinion, initiatives are always initiated. They don't see an end. So looking forward to seeing all of you again someday. Thank you very much for joining us today, and hope you have a great rest of the day. And thank you. That's it from my side.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Subhadeep. Thank you to all of the speakers. That was great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, everyone. It was nice meeting all of you. You want to say that?
Thank you. See you.